Hello and welcome to the NFL Preview Show powered by Oddschecker. I'm Tom Julian, this is Ben McClymont, and as ever, we're joined by Jeff Reinebold. Jeff, I thought we were about to lose you then. I just had a blackout. It scared the life out of me, but it's all okay.
He's still there.
He's still there. How are you doing, Jeff? You okay?
I'm doing great, guys. You will never lose me, Tom.
That's one thing I can hang my hat on. That's great news. Jeff, it was another big week in the NFL. I feel like we say that then every week. But it was bigger for one person than anybody else, Ben. Drew Brees. He sets another record, Jeff. He set the career passing record, goes over 71,940 yards. That was Peyton Manning's record. And Jeff, Drew Brees smashes it. He smashes it, and he's just a legend, isn't he?
There's no question, Tommy. You know, the thing that I love about Drew Brees is here's a kid from Austin, Texas, as an under 6 foot quarterback, really wasn't recruited very highly out of high school. Had to go to Purdue all the way up to Indiana to get an opportunity to be a Division I quarterback. In 2008, when we played in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, we used the Saints facility as our practice field. And so the Saints would finish practice and then we would come on. And every day, now at this point, Drew Brees is already an established NFL star, but every day at the end of practice, he would stay and throw individual routes to receivers and work on his footwork and his mechanics. And you could really see, you know, at that time, even though he was too small really to play the position by the standards that the NFL wants, it's just desire, work habit, all of those were so off the charts that he's been able to throw more yards than anybody in the history of the game. And I thought it was really poignant when he talked to his sons on the sideline. He said, see, if you work anything, you can do anything. And that's really the story of his group.
Yeah, definitely. And you look at his stats as well. So 499 touchdowns. He's nearly at 500, which is only Manning, Brady, and Favre are at. But it's his consistency that does it. It's 12 4,000 passing yard seasons in a row. This season he's thrown 8. No, what's he thrown? He hasn't thrown an interception this year, and last year he threw 8 interceptions. Is he getting better? Like he doesn't stop this man. Is he still in his prime? Can we say that?
No, Benny. I think what's really amazing about that is the fact that here's a guy that had major shoulder reconstructive surgery, and to the point where the Chargers kind of gave up on him, and the Dolphins brought him in for a physical and said too risky. I think his marriage with the Saints and Sean Payton's offense, they really are on the same page. You can see it as a game, and it's just a perfect spot for him.
Yeah, totally. 18 NFL seasons, Ben. He's having a lovely time there. As you say, one more touchdown and he joins the 500. Jeff, if you fancy a little flutter on the perfect Drew Brees season, he's 14-1 to be Super Bowl MVP. Do you see the Saints going all the way?
I think the Saints are making strides, Tommy. The thing I don't like about the Saints is, with the exception of Cam Jordan, they really don't have a great pass rusher. It really takes two great pass rushers now in the NFL. And their secondary gives up an awful lot of big plays. So I think offensively, when you look at, Kamara and they got weapons now.
Yeah.
You get your other running back healthy, and now there's so many ways they can beat you. They've got quality wide receivers and depth at wide receiver. Offensive line is playing extremely well. Run the ball. They can do everything that you need to offense. I just don't think defense they are good enough. They're going to have to score people soon.
Yeah, and it raises an interesting question now, isn't it? We're nearly a third of the way through the season, and we're saying that Saints are one of the best teams. But I think there's 2 teams who are outstanding at this moment. So we've got the Chiefs and the Rams, both 5-0 at the moment. Who do you see as at the moment the powerhouse? Who's the best team out of the Chiefs and the Rams? Or is there a third team?
It's amazing, Ben, that these two teams are so very similar. When you look at offensively, they've both got great young quarterbacks. They've got speed at receiver. They've got, offensive lines that are playing well. I think Kansas City's going to take a little hit that Duvernay Tardif got hurt, and that's gonna affect them. I think he's really a quality offensive lineman. It's hard to replace offensive linemen during the year. The thing that impressed me about the Chiefs' win last weekend over Jacksonville was that the Chiefs' defense came up with turnovers. They intercepted Blake Bortles 4 times. That's been the big question. The Chiefs, is their defense going to be good enough? On the other hand, everybody anticipated that the Rams' defense would be lights out. And they had to, they went up to Seattle and had to squeak one out last week against the Seahawks. And the Seahawks ran the ball extremely well against them. So I think both of those teams are the 2 best teams in football, but both of them, again, in some cases because of injury, have questions that, make them certainly not invincible.
Yeah, you touched on it there, Jeff. The Chiefs have beat the Jags and the Packers already this season, and now they travel to Foxborough this weekend. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. The Rams beat the Vikings, and also, as you say, the Saints 33-31 this weekend, Jeff. But sometimes you've got to squeak those wins, haven't you? That's the sign between a good team and a great team. You come up against some tough teams, but you have that little edge, and that just gets you through, and a little bit of luck sometimes.
Well, again, it does take luck, and you got to stay healthy and all those things. You look at the Rams Seattle game. That was a trap game. That had the trap written all over it because Rams had come off of some really big wins early in the season. They had to travel to Seattle. It was cold. It was wet. All the things that make it hard to play in Seattle. The 12, their crowd is unbelievable. So for them to go up there and grind out against really scrappy Seahawks team, I think speaks an awful lot of the Rams' career.
Yeah, so Tom, put your money where your mouth is. If it was the Super Bowl tomorrow, Chiefs v the Rams, who would you take?
The Chiefs v the
I
Rams.
would take the Rams because I think, again, they're a more balanced team. They have, both teams. The other thing, Benny, is that, both of these teams are 2 of the best special teams in the NFL. The Rams have outstanding returners. Tariq Hill, they got all kinds of guys.
The cheetah.
And you look at the other side of the coin, and the Rams are an outstanding front block. So, both of these teams are really, really good in every phase. I just think the Rams have a slight edge because Dominican Sue, you got Aaron Donald on defense, and again, Sam Shields get them in the offseason because when the league went down, they didn't have to go to a guy that hadn't played. Sam Shields went boom.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, the Oddschecker geniuses agree with you. The Rams are 7-2 to win the Super Bowl. Chiefs are 17-2. Ben, if you fancy that, I've got to agree with Jeff though. I think the Rams are just that all-round package right now. Even though they've lost players in the secondary, they've replaced well, and they just look like a quality outfit, don't they?
Yeah, I think we're sitting on the defense, aren't we? We're waiting for it to blow up. They've got a few injuries in the secondary, big injuries as well, to Peters and to Leeds. So I think we're sitting on them to really burst through.
Yeah. Well, let's go from the best teams in the NFL to perhaps the best worst teams in the NFL, Jeff. I want to look at some of the teams with a losing record at the moment, and I just want to pick your brains, Jeff, and see whether you think any of these guys have got a chance to still make it. So these are the losing teams right now. In the AFC, you've got the Buffalo Bills, New York Jets, Denver Broncos, Oakland Raiders, Houston Texans, and Indianapolis Colts. I feel like we've done 6 weeks of these, Jeff, and I haven't heard the Raiders. There's not the excitement yet that I need from you. So those are the AFC teams, and in the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers, the New York Giants, the Detroit Lions, and the Atlanta Falcons. Jeff, who's the best losing team right now?
Well, again, I would love to say I can't. They've been a big disappointment this early this season. I think you'll get a chance to see them this weekend in England, but the team, to me, Tommy, that I think showed that they have, the ability to win big games is the Houston Texans, because Watson can make plays, he keeps plays alive, he's got a great arm, and I was so impressed with his great arm. Blue is a better than average running back. Obviously, they're efficient in the offense, but a lot of ways Watson picks up that with his extend plays and get out of trouble. Then defensively, J.J. Watt was had a tremendous season. I think Romeo is much more happy. I think does a much better job as defensive coordinator, assistant head coach.
Yeah.
They've got years on defense. So I think that team, plus they're in one of the weak divisions in the National League. If you're going to our course to get to the playoffs, I would say it was Texans, right?
Now, Jeff, you've got to remember that the AFC almost champs, Jacksonville Jaguars in that league, so you have a little bit of respect, all right?
But you know what, Tommy, I had a tremendous amount of expectation with Jacksonville, but you know, obviously they've had a tough schedule early, but they're 3-2 right now, and you know, I thought last week that they would go in and just really play well in Kansas City, and it didn't work out that way. It went the other way. I mean, Bortles threw for 400 yards. They couldn't run the ball, which I thought they would do well, and obviously, you know, that hurt. That takes a chunk out of their running game, but you know, when you have the offensive line that they have, you've got to be able to pound those Chiefs and keep that cheap offense off the field. They didn't do that. They tried to win the game throwing the ball, and Bortles threw for 400, but threw 4 picks too.
Yeah, and talk about expectations, I think there's a couple of teams in the NFC as well who had big expectations going into the season. So we've got the Falcons and the Eagles, and unlike the Texans, especially the Falcons, that defensive unit isn't a strong point. So can you see either of those teams? The Falcons are 1-4 now, that's a big turnaround. Eagles 2-3, I think they still look quite good. Can you see either of those two turning it around?
Well, I think that the Eagles have the best chance, and here's the reason why. I think they're in a division again where you've got the Redskins, and we saw the warts on the Redskins the other night in the Monday night game against New Orleans. You've got the Giants who are struggling right now to score points, and you've got the Cowboys who are in the same boat. You know, their quarterback's rough, they don't have a number 1 receiver. So the Eagles, although it's been a rocky start, I think are in a division where they can. So you might win that division, guys, at 9-7. I mean, that's completely doable, I think, in that division, which gets you to the playoff. And with their Super Bowl experience, if they're healthy, you know, who knows what happens once you get to the playoffs. But I think the Eagles are best equipped to come back. The Falcons are just too beat up. That's as good as that offense is. They've lost 3 really good frontline players on defense, and that's just killing them.
Well, if you fancy the Philadelphia Eagles, you okay there, Jeff? If you fancy the NFC East to be won by the Philadelphia Eagles, you can still pick them up at 6-5. So, well, that's still pretty good value in that one. It's a competitive division, but as you say, it's anybody's game still. Jeff, I know we've got to let you go very soon, but I just want to pick your brains because you mentioned it earlier. The Seattle Seahawks at the Oakland Raiders coming to Wembley Stadium. It's the first of the NFL International Series this year, which is always an exciting time for the UK fans. Wembley always sells out. It's going to be a packed crowd again then. And what, Jeff, from your point of view, what makes the NFL International Series so special?
Well, I think, Tommy, it's as close as you're ever going to get to a Super Bowl atmosphere. You know, when you go to the stadium, it totally blew me away last year when I attended my first Wembley game. Just the sheer number of fans with jerseys from all 32 teams are there. It's a passionate crowd. You know, it's really a celebration that everybody waits all year for. And so it's very much like a Super Bowl environment. And so I think it's one of the great thrills that I've had in broadcasting, certainly. Was to have an opportunity to do the Wembley game last year. Now, I think looking ahead to this game, that Seattle is taking the right approach. They're going over to London on Wednesday, and they're going to give their players a little bit more time to kind of acclimate to the time change, to the weather, all the things. And London and Seattle are very close otherwise. I think it's an easier trip for them. The Raiders, on the other hand, are not coming in and right. I just don't think that's so. I just think that when you come in that late, especially from California to the East Coast and the East Coast to the UK, I just think that's too unsettling with your football team. One of the things I've learned over 30 years with professional football players is one of do not like at all is changes in their routine. So I think this is, Gruden talked about it a little bit today. He doesn't not looking for the trip. He doesn't travel well. He gets critical. He's claustrophobia when he's in an airplane for a long time. He's talking about that. That's the worst kind of message to send to your team, because you start talking about those things, they start thinking about those things, and then what you think becomes your reality. So I think Seattle's approaching this the right standard.
The thing is though, Jeff, it's a California day here today. We've got 23 degrees, so
That's true.
it might suit the Raiders. But one thing to note is last year we had two.
You know what? Don't tell me about the weather over there. Tell me it's 23. Just wait an hour and it'll be 13.
Yeah.
It'll be 3 tomorrow.
When you come over, Jeff, it'll be a toasty 2 or 3. Yeah. And then last year we had 2 blowouts to zip at Wembley. Are we going to get that this year? Or are we going to get a barnstormer, as Tom likes to say?
Well, I think it's going to be a better game than you anticipate. Again, the Seahawks, I think, really took a step last week. Now, can they capitalize on that positive momentum? There are no moral victories in the National Football League, but certainly for them to play as well as they did against the Rams, that offensive line of Black Sue and Arnold and those guys and run for the yards that they ran. I think both quarterbacks are outstanding. In fact, both of them are kind of different headspaces right now. I think, look at Russell Wilson. I think he feels good about the football team. They're getting healthy outside of receiver. They've had a couple young receivers, take us up. Then you look at David Carr right now, and you worry about his mental state right now because he's been public critical of him. The line offense is struggling. It's just, I think the Raiders are really right now in disarray. Maybe a trip across the ocean will get them out of, United States, get them out of Oakland, get them out of the negative. It's around that.
Maybe. I'm not sure though, Jeff. I'm back in Seattle all the way here. You can get Seattle then at -6. 11 to 8, and I don't think that's a bad move. I do see this one as a one-sided game. I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to be too strong. I think, as Jeff said, they're prepared right. Gruden's not sending the right message to me, and I just think it's going to be Seattle all the way here.
By a touchdown?
By a touchdown, yeah.
Okay. I think it'll be quite low scoring. I think it might be a little bit closer than that. I think the Raiders can stick with them.
Under 48 at 10 to 11?
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah? All right. Well, I'm gonna give you one more. Seattle halftime, Seattle full time. That's at 7 to 5. I fancy that one as well. I just don't see.
You don't like Gruden at all, do you?
I don't like Gruden. I don't like what he did in the off season, and they just haven't got it together yet. So 7 to 5, Seattle halftime, full time for me. Jeff, we've got to let you go. Thank you so much. Good luck. You're going to practice right now?
Well, we've got meetings before we go to practice, and I got a couple things I got to do. Tommy, we won 3 out of 4, and we're making a playoff push right now. So check us out on BT Sport. We'll be playing on Saturday night.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Prime time, Jeff. All right. Well, good luck for that. We look forward to seeing you when you're over, as always, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Good night, Jeff.
All right. Aloha.
Cheers. Thank you again to Jeff Reinebold. Ben, we love chatting with Jeff, and we'll see him very soon as well, aren't we?
Well, potentially, unless this playoff run keeps going.
That's true. Jeff's got the Midas touch, hasn't he? Yeah. He's going to bring it home, Jeff, the Grey Cup. But the problem with speaking with Jeff so much is that we inevitably run out of time. So we trialled it last week and it seemed to work. So let's try it again. We're going to do 5 games in 5 minutes. These are our top picks for week 6. Ben, they're the games that we fancy the most. We've obviously already talked about the London game a little bit, so we're going to ignore that one. Are you ready, Ben?
Always ready for this.
I think you're about to prepare your moustache.
It's in the way, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, all right, smooth that back. And producer Tom, you ready to go? All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go at it. Bears at Dolphins, 6 p.m. on Game Pass for you guys. The Bears coming off a bye week. The Dolphins were 3-0. They've now lost 2 on the bounce. They're 3-2. Ben, who do you fancy?
Well, Dolphins at home, 6-4 underdogs. I like the Bears 3-5 away from home. I think the Bears are going to win. You can get Bears at a winning margin of 1-13 points and a 6-4. I like that.
Oh, that's interesting. If you I agree with you, Ben, because I think Chicago are strong. They got Khalil Mack, who's been absolutely dominant this season. I can't believe I knew how good he was, but he's just continued to roll, and he's absolutely fantastic. I think it's going to be quite a low-scoring game. I think Miami are going to have to run the ball, so under 42 points. That's at 5-6. It could be quite a close one, though. So you've got Dolphins halftime, Bears full time at 7-1. I think that's an intriguing little option if you fancy that.
Yeah, I think, Tom, you might be right there. Dolphins have scored 24 points in the last 2 games combined, so under is definitely a good bet.
Well, there you go. And we've got 2 seconds left, so take Bears outright 8-13. All right, let's move on to the next game. And are you ready to go in the corner there? Yes, you are. The LA Rams at the Denver Broncos, 9:05 on Game Pass. Ben, I'm going to chuck it to you again while I look at my notes. Where's this game going?
I used to like the Broncos. I thought they were in a really good run, but with the Rams coming in, they're heavy favourites. I've got them at 4-11 against the Broncos at 5-2 at home. I think the Rams are going to smash them.
Do you? Because there's a little bit of concern with the wide receiver core in Los Angeles. Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, both picking up concussions. At this point in recording, we should say that we don't know whether they'll be past fit for the game on Sunday. So, but Rams are heavy favourites, aren't they? 7-point favourites at this one, at 4-11 outright. Broncos are massive home favourite at 5-2. I think that's quite intriguing because the Broncos aren't a bad team.
They're not a bad team, but the Rams score over 32 points in every game. I just can't see them being stopped. The Broncos defense is stalling a bit, so the Rams over 31 points at 10-11, over 52.5 at evens, over 56.5 total points, 16-11. I like both of them.
I think it could be quite a run-heavy game as well, so I might go on the under. Oh!
Controversial.
Yeah, I like it. I always get scared when the clock runs out. I don't know what to do at this point. Right. Are you ready for the third game? About 3 and 5.
I'm really not. I'm now.
Oh, 5 and 5. Well, 3 and 5 doesn't make any sense. You ready now?
Yep. This one, Ravens Titans.
That's the one. The Baltimore Ravens at the Tennessee Titans. Let's go. That's 9:25 on Sky Sports Action. Ben, both teams are coming off losses. The Tennessee Titans to the Buffalo Bills, which is a bit of a surprise. Yeah, and the Baltimore Ravens lost as well last weekend. So neither on the best form, but I still see the Ravens as favourites.
Yeah, Ravens, big favourites. Away from home, 7-10. The Tennessee Titans, you thought on that little run, they're now at home and they're 13-10 underdogs. Underdogs, sorry. That doesn't seem right. Titans are 3-point underdogs that put on the spread, so that's 9-10 you fancy them, but I like the Ravens as well. You get them -4 at 13-10.
Yeah, again, I feel like I'm saying this for all of the games this week, but I see the under on the points. It's under 41 total points at 10-11. I've also fancied running back Alex Collins to score a touchdown any time.
No, I don't like it because Javarius Allen takes all his picks, but the Titans scored 20 points, 9, 26, 12, so I'm on the under as well. Ravens winning margin, 113 points at 6-4. I like that.
How did you squeeze all of that in?
No one understood that. I spoke very quickly.
If you can slow down all these videos to half speed to understand what Ben's saying, that would be good.
That's providing more bang for your buck.
Good, very good. We should be talking about the Bucks. Oh goodness. Right, let's move on to our fourth game. Sunday night football, played on Monday, as always.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs at the New England Patriots. Ben, this is a barn burner. The Patriots are 3.5 favourites at home, but the Chiefs, you can never disrespect the Chiefs.
What are you doing? You're going to back the Chiefs, aren't you?
I'm going to back the Chiefs at 3.5 points, 10-11. I fancy the Chiefs because, as I say, they can do anything and they don't seem to be scared of anybody. They've beaten the Packers, they've beaten the Jags. Nobody stands in the Kansas City way.
No, you fancy them straight out winners, 8-5 on the road. They haven't lost a game yet. The Patriots are 4-17 at home. I like the Chiefs in this as well. The Chiefs score points. They've scored 27 points every game minimum. Let's go over 59 at 10-11.
Yeah,
I think this is going to go big.
I've got over 59 points as well. Travis Kelce, the tight end for Kansas City. He's been outplaying Rob Gronkowski this year. 3 touchdowns to Rob Gronkowski's 1. I fancy him to score any time once again.
I like Hill in this game. Done a few games without 1 touchdown.
All right, take a breath, Ben, because we're on to Monday Night Football. This is the last one.
This isn't exciting me.
It's not exciting yet?
Not this game.
All right, well, let's get into it. The San Francisco 49ers at the Green Bay Packers, Tuesday morning, 1 a.m. on Sky Sports Action. Ben, why isn't it exciting yet?
Because the 49ers aren't actually exciting.
They're trash.
Trash. I quite like CJ Beathard though. He's kind of exciting. He just throws himself into things like head first, literally. But the Packers 1-4 at home, big favourites. Can you look past them?
No, I don't think you can. I think they were 9.5 point favourites here, and they're worth it. They are the only team in this game. San Francisco. It's just been such a troubled season for losing Jimmy Garoppolo and then losing Breda. It's just really disappointing. Having said that, the sliver of hope for any San Francisco fan, the Packers are struggling a little bit on wide receiver. Cobb, Allison, and Adams have all had knocks in recent times. But I still fancy the Packers to win this one. If you did fancy an outrageous one, 49ers halftime, Green Bay Packers full times 83-10.
Oh no. 49ers dropped 28 for the Cardinals, so Packers over 35.5, 3-1. I like that.
There you go. That's it.
I squeezed in at the end. I squeezed at the end.
I took a lot there.
You did take a lot.
I tried to
take.
Do you know what? I tried to convince myself that the 49ers might be bringing something, but I just don't know.
No, it's not worth it.
And Aaron Rodgers, there's been a knock on his game this season, but he can still get things done.
Yeah.
And you've disrespected the Packers defense before.
And I still will.
They're fifth. They're fifth in total defense this year.
Okay.
So I think they're underappreciated. Packers all the way.
Come at me when you win the NFC North. Packers. It's not going to happen.
Wow. But yeah, let's see.
Should we blow our own trumpet before we leave?
Oh yes, we should do. So if you've been following any of our little pre-match previews which you've seen on social media, we tend to put out 3 different odds for our favourite games, just a bit like what we did there. If you've been backing us every week, every bet with the best price, if you put a tenner on each one, Ben, we'd be up.
How much up?
85 quid.
85 quid, that's not bad,
That's a night out, isn't it?
That's not
Depends on where you are.
Depending on where you are, yeah. We had a few big wins in there as well, I think.
Yeah.
That was 75 quid profit, I think, on one of our half-time, full-time specials. Keep an eye out for those.
Technically, though, that means we've had a few losses.
Tell them.
Well, don't tell them that.
No, you've got to tell them about the high points.
It's
Work
true.
out the low points for themselves.
It's true. So make sure you're checking out what we're doing on Twitter, because we like to put everything there. If you are backing our bets, then let us know. NFL Talk UK and Oddschecker on Twitter. Make sure you include our hashtags in there. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be bringing you more and more stuff, I think, over the next few weeks, especially when Jeff gets over here as well. We hope to have him in studio. That will be nice and fun. It's always nice to have him literally here to separate us, because I get sick of you, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Let's put Jeff in the middle then.
It's all this
stare with loving eyes.
It's all this moustache business. I don't have to worry about that with Jeff.
No, that's true. You should get one going as well.
I can't. I wish I could.
November?
Literally, it grows into like this wispy thing. It's just a mess.
Okay, you'll do it. Producer Tom's doing it as well. We'll all get on it.
Yeah. All right. Sure. Great. Look forward to that one. Thank you very much, Ben. Good luck with your bets.
Thank you. Thank you to you as well. Good luck with your bets. Good luck with our bets.
Absolutely.
£85. Let's turn that into a bit more.
We need to improve this outro, don't we? Because at the moment it's just us thanking each other.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next week.
Goodbye.
Cheers.